J members and family and friends. I have another video for you. I'm Marcia. This will be some floor work, core, strength, and a good amount of stretching. So let's come to the floor. We are starting today on all fours, a little bit different than we have been. If you want a towel under your knees, because we will be doing a little bit of kneeling, go ahead. If you have a mat, a towel, water, maybe weights, all good. So all fours, knees under the hips and hands under the shoulders. Fingers spread apart. Inhale, let's lengthen that spine. Lift your chin. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, round your back starting from the tailbone. And do that again. Just at your own pace, think about that spine moving, waking up, following the breath. Inhale, length, and exhale for the rounding. Good. Stay here. If you want to stretch your forearms, bring your fingers to the back. This will feel good. Those muscles need to be stretched. We use that quite a bit in our computer and cell phone age. So you can stretch here. If that is not comfortable, you can just bring your fingertips to the side. And then look over the right shoulder. Get a little bit of flexibility through the left lateral side. Coming through the center, and just go over to the left. Nice and easy to start. Bring your hands a little bit to the front. Cup your hands, so we're coming on kind of spider fingers. You're going to stay here and just push your hips back, lowering the chest towards the floor. Really, really stretching through the arms, through the shoulders, through the lats. And then we relax our hands and we're coming back up. So left leg to the front. This is where our kneeling comes in. Towel might be good. You are going to bring your left leg a little bit farther to the front than in your normal kneeling position. So your knee stays over your ankle as you push your hip, your right hip to the front, feeling the hip flexor in the right hip and the quad on the right side. Now we are going to come back a little bit, straightening out that right leg, arms overhead. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come towards the right, and then up. Just go right, left, a total of about 6 to 8 times. What I want those shoulders to square off. So as we go to the left, I have to be a little bit more active in trying to keep that right shoulder back. But this should feel good. Here we go. I have 2 more and then I am reaching number 8. Here we go. Back up center. Elbows are down and you're just going to twist towards the left knee, getting a little bit of rotation in the waist, into the obliques. We are only twisting, right, as far as we can, which is the obvious thing. But what I want you to do is I don't want you to move your arms. Your elbows stay in line with your shoulders. We have 1 more. And we release. Good. Hands on the thighs, gently coming back. And we are going to go into the other side. So this time my right foot is front. First, stretch out that left hip nice and low. Press it to the front. Squeeze your left glute muscle. Make sure you walk that right foot a little bit to the front so your knee is not over the toes. Couple breaths, and then we come back into the regular kneeling position with our arms up overhead, going side to side, feeling the psoas muscle, warming up, waking up. Make sure you keep your spine nice and long here. Like I said, in the first round, we have about 6 to 8, whatever feels good. Your palms are to the center. I have my last one coming up, and then I'm bending my elbows, turning to the right. So in the kneeling position, it is easier to keep your hips squared off. which is exactly what I want here. So my left glute is very engaged. Let's do a couple more. Exhale on the twist. Inhale as you come back to the front. And we release. Good. Time to come on our back. Let me look at my cheat notes here. There we go. All right. We're going to do a little bit of stuff today that's called Around the World. Nothing major. You have seen it. Coming down, I am putting my palms on the floor, arms right next to my body. For the first few, keep your knees bent. I am going to bring my knees over to the right, keeping my left shoulder down, and then coming through the center over to the other side. Maybe it's a little bit easier. I just found that out. To open up your arms a little bit so that they are not in the way of our legs. Last one. Good. Same thing. Legs are extended. Here we go. Bring them to the side. Don't touch the floor. Coming back through the center and the other side. Keep going. Keep the shoulders anchored to the floor. Your hips will come up. My feet do not touch the floor. My thighs stay together as much as possible. Let's do our last two. Down and up. The effort is definitely as you're coming away from the floor, so that should be your exhale. Last one. Bring your knees to your chest. Exhale. Tuck that tailbone under. Good. Rock from side to side, hip to hip. And we release. Good. We're coming into bicycles. What I want you to do on the first one is just a hold. So my right elbow comes to my right knee and I am holding. My left leg is either extended, the knee can be bent, or the foot can be on the floor. Hold, hold, stay in your twist. See if you can bring that left elbow close to the floor. Now we're going to do 8 bicycles. Keep that right elbow, bring it to the left leg. 8. Give me 4. 2, we're going to speed it up. 8, 7, 6, double time. 5, 3, and 2, and 1. Immediately coming into the left. So, left leg, left elbow. Right elbow is to the side, off the floor. Hold it here. Your body temperature should be rising. Couple more. Keep that left elbow where it is. Right knee to left elbow. Let's go for 8. Give me 4. Good twisting through the obliques. 2, 1. Fast. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head down, knees to chest. Yeah, that last count in the double time was a little bit off on my part. Ah, that's okay. Alrighty, let's come up onto our belly. We are working the other side of our back. Actually, my back, I have another one planned. Stay on your tush. Watch the move. This is an extended, a little bit of an advanced move, but I'm going to give you options. You are going to extend. If this is not comfortable for you, bend your knees. Bend your elbows a little bit. From the extension, hop, touch the back of the thighs. You are going to do that 8 times, right? As you come up to a seated position. Chest is lifted. And yes, you can bring the feet to the floor here if this is easier. But I'd love to see the feet off the floor. Hop, lift the chest. And need to do to finish your 8, go ahead and do it. After 8, if you need to little sip, go ahead, sip, sip, water, coffee, Gatorade, whatever it is. Alrighty, let's come on our belly. This is time for our back. All right, our feet open up a little bit. They do stay on the floor for this first move. My arms come overhead. I'm lifting my chest, circling my arms, clasping my hands behind my back, lengthening the elbows, lifting my chest, squeezing my glutes, and release. So as soon as you lift the chest, the butt has to be squeezed, and you have to squeeze your shoulder blades together. 2 more, own pace. Reach, squeeze the butt, circle, clasp, lift, open the chest, make that back work, and release. We have 1 more. Here we go. Arms overhead. Start pulling the shoulder blades down towards the hips from the very beginning. Up, hold, and release. Arms overhead, left palm stays, right arm comes up. All I'm doing is lifting my chest, squeezing my right shoulder, my right elbow towards the bottom part of my right rib cage. And then I switch. So the palm that's on the floor, 8 total here, push into the floor or the mat so you can get a little more height. Here we go. Huh. So I'm bringing one shoulder blade more towards the center than the other. I have 2 more left. Huh. And release, 1 more. Release, good. Stack your hands, put your forehead down. Now we're working the low back, so upper back stays nice and relaxed on the floor. I am going to lift my feet, my legs, open them, close, and halfway down. We're going to do 8. I don't want you to bend your knees too much. I know you want to lift those feet high. That's not the point here. The point is legs long, lower back works, working the back of the legs, working the glutes. Finish off your 8 total. Your feet should not touch the floor, right? My thighs come down a little bit more. My hips stay on the floor the whole time. After your number 8, everything down, hands right next to the shoulders, lift yourself up, and then push your hips back. So you're going to stretch out what we just worked. Push the hips to the back. Every time you exhale, press into the palms of the hands and push your hips a little bit back towards your heels. Here we go. Good. Coming on all fours and then gently bring yourself up to a standing. Alrighty, for our squats, the first ones, we are not going to use weights. We're coming into a sumo squat, so that means my feet are wider than my hips. My toes are a little bit more turned out than our regular squats. I'm coming down first. As you come down, I want you to bring your elbows between the inner thighs. See if you can bring your hands down and just shift your weight from side to side. We are trying to get a little mobility into the hips. Here we go. Drop your hips. They should be maybe a little bit below the knees. Hands come up into the inner thighs. Right hand down. Left hand touches my left shoulder, and I'm coming into a little twist. Switch, left hand under the left shoulder, right hand to the right shoulder, coming into a twist. Here we go. And up, and release. Twist, release. We're not coming up out of this sumo squat. My hips stay low. Here we go. Quads, hamstrings, butt, and that core. Give me Bring it down, hands on the floor. Now open up your feet a little bit so your toes and your heels are parallel. If you have to keep your knees bent here, that's fine. We are going to just come into a little bit of a stretch. Bring your feet closer together, hip width apart. Bring your hands on your shins and see if you can extend. I'm going to just turn, stay where you are. If you can extend that low back. Bending the knees, squeeze the glutes, and as slow as you can, rolling up to a standing. Excellent. Shake it out. We are going to grab weights for our back. So about medium, whatever feels good. We are going to set up for what we will later do for shoulders, which is a clean and press. We're coming up in an upright, and then we're just going to bring our elbows down. That's all we're going to do. Up and down. To the side and down. Side. Now, as I rotate those elbows, I want to keep my shoulders down, away from the ears. Up. And I want to keep my shoulder blades, again, working the lats, pushing the shoulder blades down towards the hips. Here we go, 2 more. Up and down and up and down. Now release. Good. Left foot steps forward, right foot comes back. Leaning, wide row. So I have a beautiful line from the top of my head to my back foot. Leaning forward. Now narrow row, up. So that right shoulder stays nice and closed off. Here we go. Give me 4 more. 4. We're not done after this. And 2. Alternate 2 wide rows, 2 narrow, 2 and 1. Come back to the narrow, 2 and 1. Keep that right shoulder closed off and down away from the ears. Keep that navel tight, right? You are bending over. You are having your elbows come behind your back. We're in the red zone, which means belly. Up, release. And here we go again. Up, elbows. Now you see that I am not dropping my elbows, right? I keep them lifted in line with my shoulders. Bring it up, up. Triceps, biceps, back. It's all working here. Give me 2 more, up. Careful with that core. And release. Step that right foot forward. Settle yourself in here, leaning, coming into a wide row. So in the wide row, my elbows are out to the side. Don't think about them coming behind you, out of my peripheral vision. I see that arm, the elbow, the weight moving. 2 more. And narrow row. So elbows pinned back as though you want to graze that rib cage. Closing off that left shoulder. My gaze is well in front of my right foot. Last one coming up. 2 wide rows. Here we go. 2. Narrow row. Up. And 2. We go again. Up. Work that shoulder blade, work that shoulder blade, as though your armpit wants to come down towards your hip. Last set, up and up. No over squeezing in the weight. Last one, we release. Good, roll out the shoulders, grab water, whatever you need to do. Let me see here. All right. We are going to go maybe a little bit down In weights, we're coming into a very wide stance. Feet are parallel. You are going to bend your right knee, my left hand. See if you can bring it down towards the floor in front of your right foot. Then I'm coming back up and I'm coming into a lateral lift. Only that right leg. So bend and touch, coming up. Here we go, and down. Again, up. So bend that right knee a whole lot so that you are closer to that floor. Push your hips to the back. If this is too much for your low back, your right hand can stay on the right thigh for support. I want, as you come into that lunge, I really want to press your hips back and push into the right heel. 2 more. Here we go. Navel is lifted. See if you can lift that right hand, unless it needs to be on the right thigh. Belly tight. Up. Here we go. Lateral lift. Lift. Turn the palms to front. Turn down and release. We come up. We turn. Up. Keep the arms slightly in front. Up. Turn. Down to the left. Left knee, right hand. Up. Back into that lateral lift. And release. Left knee, whole lot of bending. Right, my left glute. Let's make it burn. Belly is tight. Left knee is bent a whole lot. Hips are pushed back. My weight coming out of that lunge, it's all about that left heel. It's all about the most powerful muscle in your body, which is your glute muscle. Here we go. Up. Last one. Release. Bring your feet a little bit closer. We're going to bring our arms in front. Palms together. Turn. Together. Release. Again. Turn. Now keep your elbows bent so that I do not see any rounding of the back. You have the feeling as though my hand is on your low back, especially when you lift to the front, and you are pressing your low back into my hand, gently, right? To keep the connection, navel to spine. Last one, up, turn, back, and down. Excellent work. Already ready. Towel off if you have to. We are going to come into 2 medium weights. We are going to combine that with triceps and then biceps. Triceps, you're going to keep the weights both one in one hand. On the biceps, you are going to double up on one side. Alrighty. Open up nice and wide. If I look at you from the side, we talk about this a lot in class, right? Your hips and your shoulders should be in line. Your knees should be in line with your toes. If they are not, turn your toes a little bit back towards the center. Nice and open so you have room to go down. My arms, 90 degrees, maybe a little bit closer to the shoulders, and I'm keeping my hands where they are. My elbows do not move towards my thighs, right? It is the twisting. They are moving to your thighs. It is the twisting in your obliques, in your waist, that gets them there. That was poorly phrased. Here we go. 3, stay low in the hips. 2, and 1. Good. Now turn. Left leg in front, right leg back long, arms extend, up. Give me 4, 3, 2, up and hold, up and hold. Belly is up, belly is up. And we we release. Both weights in the right hand. We're going to step up. That right leg is lifted. We're going to just curl 8 times in that right arm. If your weights were already heavy to begin with, just hold on to one weight. But your bicep should be able to lift a little bit more than your tricep. 2 more. Give me 1. Release. Put the foot down. Both feet. Bring it into a 90 degree with the elbows. Keeping the upper arm still, I'm just opening and closing. So my forearms are maybe moving 45 degrees. You're not going to have a lot of range of motion. I want to keep your wrists and your elbows in line. I'm just opening and closing. Every time I open the arms, I have to be conscious of bringing that navel back towards the spine. That is the time that your low back is going to want to arch. 2 more. Here we go. 1, and back to the lunge. Here we go. We are going to circle for 8, 6, give me 4, 3, 2, 1. Back hands under the shoulders, lifting up. Keep the elbows straight. Release. Both weights in the right hand. Bringing up that right foot. And we're going again for 8. Now I'm hoping that you can keep that elbow under the shoulder. My upper arm barely moves. My triceps helps on the way down to keep that elbow in line with my shoulder. I have 1 more coming up. And I release. Good. Shake it out. Last one. All right, so I circled away from my body, away from the midline, the center. I'm going to circle in the opposite direction. Here we go. 8. Give me 6. Give me 4. Nice and easy, nice and tight. And 1, hands on the shoulders for our last lift. You should feel the burn by now. This is our 3rd set. And we release. We have 1 more bicep curl on that side. Go for 8. Remember to keep your shoulders here over your hips. A lot of you are going to have a tendency to lean back with that upper body. Therefore, sticking the stomach out to the front. 3 more. Losing that core stability. 2. Last one. Release. You should feel the arms by now. If not, next time, use a little bit heavier weights. We are coming down to our plie squat. Opening up the feet, opening up the toes. Settle down. Bring your hands, your weights, so they're almost on your shoulders. We're going down and good. Bring those thighs to the back. Don't think about your knees. Think about your inner thighs. 4. Give me 2. Give me 1. We release. Alrighty. Leaning over that right thigh. We're going to go a little bit different here. We're going to come into a kick back, a tricep kick back. Both arms. So we're going to go up, extend, in, and down. Again, up, in. Keep the upper arms lifted. 4. Extend the elbows. Keep the shoulders down. Give me 2 more. You can come up on the ball of the left foot if you can stabilize. I find it easier for balance that way. Last one. Up, down, left leg up, left bicep. Give me 8. core stability, right? So very, very crucial in your balance. Your breath. My effort is curling. Keep going all the way up to 8. After number 8, bring that left leg back. Come back into the tricep extensions, kickbacks. Here we go. Hup. We're going to do 6 on number 6. This is my 4th one. I have 2 more on the 6th. We are going to keep the extension. So my last one is coming up. Bring it up, extend and hold. Hold, hold. Breathe. Release, bring both weights into that left hand. Come up onto your right leg. Curl the left bicep for 8. And if you are just not really good in balancing today, that is okay. Feel free to put that leg down in between, and maybe you can bring it back up at some point. Good. After your number 8, we have one more tricep kickback. Almost done with those small muscle groups. Here we go. Belly tight. Look well in front. We only have 4, so make the best of it. 4. Release. Lift the elbow. Extend. Try to wiggle your fingers every once in a while. 2. With an extension. Last one coming up for the hold. Here we go. Up and hold. Palms should be facing the center. Breath in your sternum. Release. Good. I hope everybody worked hard in this one. You should. Alrighty. We are going into our shoulder clean and press. Don't overdo it on this one if this is your first time. What is really crucial in your clean and press is the positioning of your elbows. You can hurt your rotator cuff in this, so be careful. Listen to the cueing. So I am going for medium weights here because I'm coming overhead, working my shoulders. I like to do the shoulders last. All right, because they assist in stabilizing everything else. All right, watch the move first. Up, elbows out, right? Now, as I drop my elbows, I come into the squat. I press overhead on the lift. Come back into your squats, elbows down. As you come up, elbow out to the side. Now it's safe to drop. You need to keep your weights close to your body. Here we go again. Lift elbows out, squat elbows down. Lift, push up, squat elbows down to the floor, straighten knees, elbows out to the side, and release. We go again. Elbows lift, squat elbows down. Knees straight, press overhead. Squat elbows down, straight elbows side for the release. We go again. Side, down and squat. Press up. Elbows down, squat. Lift to the side, and we release. Lift side, down and squat. Up and straight. Down and squat. Side and straight. Right? Side is for my elbows. Down and squat. Lift everything. Down and squat. Side and lift with a release. Let's do it again. Side, down squat, up press, down squat, side up, release. 2 more. I'm not talking here. Breathe. One more. Up, down. Up and release. You should feel this, all right? Legs, upper body, everything. We are going to stay in our shoulder work. Think about count 1, that is your hold. Wherever you are, static. No movement. Again, I find it easier if I come into a split step. Let's do it. All right, last little bit. Right here, keep your shoulders over your hips. We go. 4, pressing up. 3, 2, hold on 1, hold, 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 hold. Now pull. 4, 2, hold on 1. We go. Push. 3, 2, hold on 1. Now we pull. Up. Keep your arms slightly in front of your body on the lift. Hold on 1. Final set for a push and press. Push and a pull. 2. Hold. Yes, upper body tight. This is when your core says, I've had enough. Last one. Slowly release. Good. Should be burning. All right, let's stretch those arms in front. You can do wrist to wrist, moving that arm across our body, shoulder back. You can look over the shoulder. So this is what it looks like from the side. All right, grab the tricep. Bring the arm up. Now, as you bring the hand down towards the shoulder blades, watch for the tucking of that low back. This is when your booty wants to let go. We're not letting it. It's staying in place. Other side. So you can do just a tricep stretch. You can do wrist to wrist, bringing that arm across, pushing the shoulder back, and then looking over. You're getting a little more into the deltoid and in the shoulder area here. Good. Clasp your hands behind you. Tuck the tailbone under. Lengthen the arms. Open up the chest. If you can lift the arms a little bit away from the butt. Make sure you don't arch. And release. All right. We are not done yet. We are coming on the floor. I have some planks for you. We are well over the halfway point. Hang in there. We can do this. No weights are required, so put them to the side. Alrighty. We are working legs, core, and shoulders a little bit. Couple of options here. We're coming into a side plank. My left hand arm is on the floor, making sure we are in that 90-degree angle, shoulder away from the ear. You can come on your knees, lift. What we're going to do, we are circling that top leg. If you want more, right, we can always do a step extra. Coming up, and then circle. 8, 7. Core, right? 3, 2, 1. Release. Come onto the forearms into the plank. I want the forearms in line with my shoulders. No triangle. This works your back a little bit more. Here we go. Second set. Side plank. Left knee down or up. We go. 8. 6. Keep the left knee up. Keep the hip up if you can. 2, 1. Back to the forearm. I said that wrong. I meant keep the hip up because some of you might be on the floor with that left knee, which is okay. We have one more coming up. Here we go. Turn. Lift that bottom hip. We go 8. Give me 4. 3, 2, 1. On your knees, stretching. So if you have to, I did the last 2 circles in my side plank with my right hand kind of stabilizing myself on the mat. That is totally fine. Alrighty, let's go into the other side. This is tough, all right? We know by now that circles are a huge challenge for our core. So we're working everything. Side plank. Here we go, shoulders away, knee can be down, but that right hip needs to be lifted. See if you can bring everything up, even if you do one set. Circle for 8. Here we go, I have 4, 3, 1, good. Now, come onto your knees, bring your forearms, your hands to the front, and just sit back with those hips. We're on the fingertips. We did this in the beginning. Keeping the heat in the body. We're coming back into our side plank. We have just 2 more. All right, here we go. Side plank. Legs are long. Maybe you can lift both. And we go again for 8. Core. Give me 4. And 2. And 1. Here we go. Back on our knees. Come on all fours. Look over your right shoulder. Let's just stretch a little bit in between. Through the center. Over to the left. This should feel good. We just worked that right hip. 1 more. 1 more. We can do this. We're going to have a nice stretch at the end. No worries. Right hand, legs long. If you need that left hand to come down in front of you, go for it. Just 8 circles. I have 4. And 2. And 1. Down. Push back into just a regular child pose. So that means my knees are open, my feet are closing up. My hands come to the front. Take a couple breaths here if you need to towel off, or if you want water, go for it. Alrighty. I have 1 more for you. We did the around the world with the legs, coming side to side. We're going to do a plank around the world. Not as hard as it sounds. You need to be on your hands and your feet here. You're going to stabilize the whole body, and you are going to lift right arm, left leg, right leg. Alrighty, here we go. Open up the feet a little bit. Hips a little lower than the shoulders. We go. Right arm extend. Left arm, left leg. Hop, right leg. Right arm, stabilize. Hop, left arm. Left leg. Now feel what you can do with your palms. Right arm, right? Keeping those shoulders stable. Push into the palm, left leg, right leg. We have 1 more. Let's do left, left, right arm, right leg, left leg. Keep going. Left arm. Use your core, use your butt. Use your palms, right leg. Left leg, 1 more on the left. Here we go. Left. And right. Right leg. Keep it up, keep it up. We have our stretch coming up here. Child's pose. That was hard work. Planks are tough. Very, very tough. Alright. Breathe. Stay in your child's pose or all fours. Whatever it is you want to do. Okay. I'm going to try find a little music. Breathe through that child's pose. Here we go. All right. Let's come on all fours. Let's finish off in style, right? With a little Carmen. All fours. Couple of cat-cows. Then I want you to bring your right leg back. I want you to press your heel into an imaginary wall, keeping your leg parallel to the floor. bend your knee, round your back. Stretch it out again to the back. Now bring that right leg across your body to the left. Pinky toe on the floor. Settle into the hips and then look over the left shoulder towards the right foot. All right, we're squaring ourselves off. So I am turning. Right here, my right leg is still behind me. I'm pushing that right leg back. We're coming into a pigeon pose. Your left heel should be towards your right hip. And I want you with every inhale to lengthen your spine a little bit. And with every exhale, see if you can release some of that tension in your left hip. Breathe. Good. We are coming up. For those of us that can handle it, you are going to grab with your left hand your right heel and come into a quad stretch. If this is too much, come on your left side and bring your right leg on top of the left. Bring the right foot towards the butt and your right hip towards the front. So we are stretching to our ability. Hang in there for a couple more breaths. Good. Release that right leg. Everybody come up, even if you are on your side. My left hand stays on the floor. I am kicking back my left leg to the back. So I am a little more stable here. Right leg is long. Now lift up that left leg. You can keep your right arm over your shoulder. If your shoulder can handle it, reach overhead. Feel that lateral stretch. And we release, and we are coming into the other side. Come back to all fours. Good. Now go ahead and look over your right shoulder and push your left rib cage towards the left. Come through the center, do the same thing, looking over the left shoulder. Gently push your right rib cage to the right. Keep the belly high up away from the floor. Bring your left leg back. Remember the extension from the hip, the height in the belly, and the pressing of the left heel into that imaginary wall. Good. Round the back, bring the left knee towards the chest. Lengthen again. We're going to cross. That left leg comes over. Put that pinky toe down and stay stable in your hips before you look over that right shoulder towards the left foot. All the while we are breathing. Looking back between our hands, I am moving my hands over to the left. Long line, pushing the left hip, the left leg back into your pigeon pose. And remember, this we can also do on our back. If it's not easy for our knee, I apologize, I did not specify that in the first one. You can come here and go behind that leg, all right? Behind the thigh. Hang in there, a couple more breaths. This is good. Hip pockets are really notorious for holding on to stress, just like your shoulders. Now coming up, remember you can be on your side here. Your right arm grabs that left foot. You can be on your right side, and it is your left leg on top, and that is the one that is stretching. So it's basically a good quad and hip flexor stretch. Release the left leg. Everybody come up on your right side. Left leg is long, so I'm kicking that right leg back. If it stays here, I am very difficult in my balance, very wobbly up. So don't drop that hip, press it up. Reach, maybe you can come overhead. Wonderful stretch here. And then we are going to come down to our back. We are going to bring our knees to our chest. Maybe you can bring your nose towards your knees, kind of reaching in the middle. Good. Left leg is long. Right knee towards the chest. And then our left hand guides that right leg across. Keep your right shoulder in the floor and touch the floor with your right foot. Now on every exhale, maybe you can push that right thigh a little bit closer to the floor. Stay with it, stay with the breath. All right, release that right knee. We are going to cross that right knee over the left and see if you can come up. We have done this before a little bit with your chest, so you can grab with your right hand that right foot. If you need a band here, an old necktie, go for it. We're coming back into the twist, so my shoulders are down. I am pulling my left foot up towards my butt, coming into that low back stretch. Then we release. Keep that left foot on the floor. If you have a band, you want to put that behind the right foot, that's awesome. If not, you can just come into any stretch that is comfortable for you. Keeping the low back into the floor. And then we're going to stretch the IT band here. So our right leg comes across our body to the left. Keep that right shoulder down. Breathe into the chest. And then we release. We are going to come into the other side. So that means my left knee is up towards my chest. If you tuck your tailbone under here, press your low back into the mat, you're going to stretch that low back just a little bit more. Come across, right hand, left knee. Nice and easy. Again, touch that left foot down on the floor first. Stabilize your back. And then with every out breath, maybe you can press that knee down just a little bit. Very slow, just follow the breath. It should come in and out through the nose by now. And then release that left knee, bending both knees, left over the right. And then come up a little bit so your left hand can reach for the right foot. We're dropping those knees back over to the right, and I am bringing my right foot up towards my glutes. A little more intense in that low back stretch here. So as we mentioned before, make sure you do these only when you're nice and warm. Good. Release. We're going to come up, legs up into a not a child's pose, a happy baby. I knew it was kind of, with child and baby somewhere there. So bending the knees, I am still pressing my tailbone into the floor, and then with every out breath, I'm pressing into the soles of my feet just to see if my thighs can come a little bit closer to the floor. Hip opener, nice and easy. Maybe you want to rock a little bit from side to side. And then release the feet. Bring them to the edges of the mat. Bring your knees towards the center. This gets rid of any ache in the low back. Feels nice. And then feet together, soles of the feet together, so our knees open up to the side. If you want, you can gently press into the inner thighs with your hands, but you don't have to. So again, hips and inner thighs open up just slightly more. Good. Lengthen your legs, lengthen your arms overhead. I want you to really stretch out, point the toes. Low back should come off the mat, and then you release everything. Gently press the low back into the floor. Relax the knees and the elbows, and then come again. Big stretch. Reach. And release. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed another class. I hope you are enjoying all online classes or live classes, whatever you can do. We're going to keep this going for you, for our members. And if you want to give us feedback, of course, you know where to go. You're always welcome to do that. Everybody, I hope you're well, you're safe and healthy.